guys, it's Sarah, and today is Booklist Thursday. This is a video series that I do with my friend Lindsay over at Lindsay's Little Library. And every Thursday we bring you some sort of book topic that we feel like talking about for the week. And this week we are wrapping up our latest round of 5-star predictions. For this round, we decided to use the Roll Your Next Read board that we posted in the beginning of the summer. And this is something that we decided to do all summer long. And it was just a fun little dice rolling game challenge that helps you pick one-word prompts, and then you pick a book based off that prompt. And it was just a lot of fun. So we decided, since we were ending this round of 5-star predictions at the end of August, which is how long this board was going, that we were going to do this round by ourselves, and we were going to use prompts from the board to pick our books. Okay, so I will show you the books that I read and the prompts that they fulfilled. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Dune by Frank Herbert. This one is for the prompt of old, because this is a very old book. It was first published in 1965. This is a classic science fiction book. There have been multiple adaptations, including newer ones, and I believe a new movie is even coming out this year, and I have always been interested in reading it. This was also on the Great American Reads list, so I have a check mark for that one too. This is one that I did a tandem read, so I read it physically with my eyeballs, and then I also listened to it on audiobook at the same time. And the audiobook was fantastic. It is kind of a full cast, but there is a main narrator, which is Simon Vance. And then there are other people who come in and narrate speaking parts for some of the characters. And it was interesting because it wasn't every single chapter that did that. Sometimes it was just Simon doing it and he would do different voices for the characters. But then, you know, for a couple chapters, it would be different actors coming in. So it sounded like you were actually listening to a conversation back and forth, and without all the he said, she said, all that kind of stuff. So it was very interesting the way that it was done. And it was a really, really good audiobook. For the book itself, this was interesting. I did not know what to expect. I knew that it was going to be on different planets. I knew that there were big worms that lived underneath the sand on one of these planets. That's really all I knew about this book. I had no idea what it was about, what was going on. It has a fantastic movie cast for the newer adaptations. This one is highly political. There is a political system. There is people who hold certain positions in their society, and we are following a boy named Paul, and we meet him when he's young, and then we see him grow up a little bit. And he is the son of somebody who is very high up in the political system here. And you kind of follow what happens to him, to his father, to his father's mistress, for lack of a better term, and kind of how they navigate this world, how they navigate the system. And, you know, they are going from one planet to another and setting roots down there. And that's been a whole thing. And then they are dealing with, you know, who are our friends and who are our enemies. We don't really know. So it's kind of one of those type of things. So while the story to me was interesting, I thought the storyline was very, very interesting. I felt that this was way too long and way too detailed, and I got lost in the details a lot. I could tell you where every bit of grain of sand is on this planet. Like, the descriptions of the planets were so much, and it was a planet full of sand. How did we need that many descriptions? You know what I mean? So it was just kind of one of those things where I felt like it was too descriptive. It probably could have been half of this length. This is almost a 700-page book. It could have been half of that, and we would have gotten a faster paced, more interesting, like it would have held my interest longer. Not that it would be more interesting, but it would have held my interest longer. I kept getting bored because I felt like it was too over descriptive. And then there were times where I felt like it jumped around a little bit, and I was like, wait, what? How did we get here? And it took a minute for it to come around to how we got there. And I was like, oh, so it almost felt, there were points where it wasn't even linear. And I don't know. So I don't know. It was a very, very weird reading experience for me. I ended up giving this one a 3 because I did like the storyline and I did like the characters. There's one character in here that I was really, really interested in, and we barely got him. It was Duncan Idaho. I wanted more Duncan Idaho, and he was in like 2 scenes maybe throughout the whole thing, but he seems like a bigger character, especially in the adaptation. So maybe that's where I'll get hit more of him. But I was really craving that because, you know, the way that he was described in here and the things that he was doing and things that he had done, I was really interested in his story. And then like we got nothing. So I don't know. It was an experience. So 3 stars. I will not read the rest of the books in the series. But I'm definitely going to watch the movies for sure. The next one that I read is for the Prompt Award, and I picked up Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and this was a Goodreads Choice Award winner for last year for historical fiction, so I'm using that. So very loose interpretation of award, but it counts. And Taylor Jenkins Reid is an author that I want to read to zero. I want to read everything that she has written. I'm working on it. I don't have too much more to go, but I loved this one as well. So Carrie Soto was a character in Malibu Rising. She was a very, very side character, but she was featured in there. And you don't really like her in that book. She does some things that are like, that's not okay. What's going on here? You know, something is obviously happening behind the scenes with this person. And you get her story in this book. And she is a tennis player. She is a famous tennis player. She is coming out of retirement in this book because one of her world records is about to be broken and she is not having it. So she comes out of retirement to prove that she is still the best and no one's going to beat her record, even these tennis players who are half her age. And you see her relationship with her father, who was her coach. You see her relationship with other players in the game. You see her working dynamic with other players and, you know, people that she's training with and how they get along and how she treats people and how the media sees her and how the public sees her as a public figure. And it's a lot. It's a lot. It is really good commentary on how women are seen, especially in the world of sports. I ended up landing on a 4 with this one, so it wasn't quite a 5 because I did struggle with Carrie through a lot of this book. I wasn't really on her side for a lot of it. By the end, I was, but it took a while to get there. I just kept going, okay, I get it, but did you have to say that? Okay, I get it, but did you have to do that? So you are seeing her side of things, which I liked a lot. I didn't always agree with her decisions that she made, so that's why I struggled. But it was very good, and Taylor Jenkins Reid writing is, as always, phenomenal. And then we get to talk about my favorite book of the year. Again, yes, I'm going to talk about it again. I picked this book for hot. That is the word that came up, and I immediately said this one. Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, because this is the hot book to be reading right now. And I love this, and this is my favorite book of the year. I don't think anything is going to top it. I cannot wait for Iron Flame that comes out in November. I will be reading that immediately after it is in my hands. I might not even make it to the parking lot. I am so excited. This is Dragon Riders. It is adult. It is a young girl who is learning what she's capable of and dealing with an enemy. But is he? He is, but is he? And you are seeing her navigate her friendships that are changing. And there's dragons, guys. There's dragons, and the dragons are everything in this book because they have personalities and they talk, and it's, oh my gosh. So good. I was laughing out loud. I was tearing up. I didn't cry. No tears fell, but very, very close. And I loved every page. I loved it. I loved all of it. This is my new obsession. I'm one of those people. It's fine. So obviously 5 stars for this one. A 5-star, we have a 4-star, and we have a 3-star for this round. So 1 out of 3 was 5 stars for my 5-star prediction. And yeah, so we're gonna try again next time and see if I can get more 5 stars, because I feel like for the past few rounds at least, I've maybe only had one, if I had any. So this next round, I am going to put some really, really good thought into it and intentional thought into it to try to pick some books that I really, really think are going to be 5 stars. So, okay, so since we are kind of ending this when our Roll Your Next Read challenge is ending, we are also going to go ahead and like kind of update you on what we have done with this. Now, I did forget to write down Dune on this one, so whoops. So I do have one more square to cross off, but after these books I had, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books on here, or 9 squares. Now, I did a fun little challenge where if I rolled a double, the next time that I rolled, I would roll for 2 different squares and make one book fit for 2 squares. And I was able to do that. So yeah. But I got Water, which I read Drowning by TJ Newman. And then that one was a double. So I did Royalty and Color, which I did Inheritance by Catherine McGee. And then I got one for Travel, which was My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. And then Hot, Fourth Wing Award, Carrie Soto. For Dark, I did My Darkest Prayer. And for Favorite, I did Under the Whispering Door, which I rolled a double for that one as well. Now, moving forward, this challenge, technically we said June, July, August, so for the big time summer months. But I'm having a lot of fun with this and I want to cross off some more squares. So I'm personally going to keep going for the rest of the year with this. And I'm going to have reading vlogs. I have one reading vlog that is already up. I will link it down below if you haven't seen my first one where I read some of these books in it. And then I do have vlog number 2 in progress right now. I am reading my 3rd book for it already. So that will be coming up. As soon as I finish my 3rd book, I can post that one. And I'm going to keep going with the vlogs. So I'm going to keep doing this and I'm going to share my vlogs for it for the rest of the year. So I'm going to do this through December just to see how many more I can get. And it's just a lot of fun. And yeah, so we'll see what ends up happening. But yeah, so that is kind of my little wrap up at the end of August of how this has been going. Again, I need to cross off old, but it was a lot of fun. And I'm going to keep going with it. So be on the lookout for more vlogs coming your way where I am rolling for these. And please make sure you go check out Lindsay's video today, see what books she picked for her prompts and what she actually thought of them. And we will see you guys again next time. Hope you have a great day. Bye.